Hey everybody, I hope you're having a great January and I hope you're reading some great books. I just wanted to make a quick video today as we start the new year about my plans and my intentions for the channel in 2025. We recently hit 10,000 subscribers, which is absolutely mind-blowing. I've got to be honest with you. And so as the new people join, I just want to make this a really welcoming place for everyone that loves books. And the best way that I can think to do that is by making more of an online community rather than just a channel, you know? And so the first thing I want to do is launch a Discord server. If you're old like me, then you might not necessarily know what a Discord server is, and that's all right. That's all right. We're not judging each other, are we? The best way I can describe it is that it is a place to hang out online with rooms, or they're called channels, for sort of like chatting and having fun contests, sharing pictures, memes. I always think that the YouTube comment section is really great, but for proper conversations where I really want to sort of get to know each other and really find out about each other's interests when it comes to books and recommendations and all that kind of thing. I just want to have a place to discuss all of our favorite books and just rave about whatever it is that we're reading. So that's the first change. There's going to be a place outside of YouTube where we can all knock about together. The next change is that I'm going to be launching a Patreon. The Discord server is for everyone, right? It's just a fun place for us all to hang out. And then on top of that, I've had people ask, just over the last few months especially, how they can support the channel, which I gotta be honest with you, that means quite a lot to me, that people would even think to ask that question. And so, yeah, I really appreciate that. That's so nice. So I am going to set up a Patreon, and yeah, that's going to be happening in 2025. That's just a way that you can support the channel. I'm still putting it together. I don't see it as like a big rush to do that. But as one of the perks to the people who are supporting the channel, I'm going to be running a monthly book club just for the Paperback Journeys Patreon members. You'll also get a mention in every video. You've probably seen other booktubers do that, you know, when they have all of the names of all of their supporters that appear on the screen before they start talking, or maybe it's at the end of the video. And so yeah, I'll make sure to do that as well, so you're all thanked in every video. And there's going to be different tiers as well of memberships. You can let me know what you think of the tier names. Here's what I was thinking. Level 1, cult member. Even though it's definitely not a cult, just as a bit of a laugh, you know? It's not a cult. We all know it's not a cult. That's pure propaganda that my enemies are spreading. But yeah, level 1, cult member. Level 2, I haven't actually thought of that yet. I need to think of a good level 2. So if you have any suggestions for that, please let me know. And then level 3, I was thinking quartet, which is a reference to Stephen King's The Dark Tower. If you haven't read that, The Dark Tower read-alongs is really what this channel was built on. And so, yeah, I thought that would be quite nice to have the top level as quartet. What do you think? What do you think of that? What do you think of those tier names? Yeah, like I say, let me know in the comment section if you have a good suggestion for better tier names. And I'm definitely open to suggestions. That's another big change that I want to implement this year, is having more suggestions about the channels, the kind of, about the channel and the kind of videos that you lot want to be watching. That's kind of the point. Is that I just want this channel to feel more like a community rather than just like a two-way thing. And so this is going to be a way to connect more deeply, to read together, to keep building this community, and also give us an excuse to all read the same books together. And so that's the next big change that I'm going to be making on the channel, and that is monthly read-alongs. So with a Discord, one of the things that it allows you to do is each month you'll get to vote on the book that we read together, like a community book club kind of a thing. And then once that book is chosen, we'll all dive into it as a group, maybe read a couple of chapters a day. We'll share our thoughts about the characters that we love and the characters that we hate, and then we'll have fun discussing it. I think reading can be quite a solitary thing, but sometimes you just want to talk about something crazy that just happened in the last chapter that you read. And so this is going to be the best place to talk about the books that we read together. And what I'm thinking of doing is, when I spin the wheel, let me just get the wheel. And so what I'm thinking about doing is, when I spin this wheel every month, usually I pick 4 books. And going forward, I'm just going to spin it 3 times and pick 3 books that I'm going to read that month. And then all of the Patreon members are going to get to pick the 4th book that we read together that month. So I'm still going to be doing my monthly reading wrap up. That's all going to be exactly the same. But the third change is that in 2025, I'm going to be doing more individual book reviews. That's really how this channel kind of started out, was book reviews about The Dark Tower. And honestly, I don't think that they're the most popular videos. They're not really the videos that bring in new viewers or anything like that. I think that really people are more interested in getting recommendations and seeing top 10 lists and stuff like that. But book reviews are my favorite videos to make, because I love sharing my thoughts and kind of getting in deep about the books that I read. And so I'm going to be putting out a mixture of spoiler-free reviews for people who haven't read the book yet, and then spoiler-filled reviews as well for kind of deeper discussions about everything that happens. So yeah, maybe something like a book review per week, something like that. I was thinking about maybe doing like a book review every Tuesday. That's the intention anyway. Now, I've got to admit, sometimes I don't know if you're like this as well, but I get an idea in my head and I go, oh yeah, this is going to be great. This is going to be great. And then something happens, life happens and everything gets knocked off the rails. And oh man, I was supposed to be putting out a video on Tuesday, this book review. So yeah, that does happen from time to time, but I'm going to do my very best to stick to, say, a book review every Tuesday, and then maybe just a general video on Friday, and then one on Sunday. And then at the end of the month, I do my reading wrap up, and then I do my TBR, what I'm going to be reading the following month. And then one final change, this is a big change, is that I want to start offering audiobook narration to you guys, because this is something that I don't think many other channels do. I don't know if any other booktube channels are also audiobook narrators. That's something that I do for a living. And so last month I released A Christmas Carol. A lot of people seem to enjoy it. And so I was thinking that maybe every month I'll read a classic piece of literature. In October, for example, I might read a little bit of Edgar Allan Poe or that kind of thing. The audiobooks are going to be available to everyone, but I'm going to let the Patreon members decide which audiobook I narrate each month, like as an extra bonus, right? So, and everyone can just vote on that. A couple of things is that it's going to have to be old enough that the book is in the public domain, right? I can't narrate the new Joe Abercrombie book, and I wouldn't want to either, because Stephen Pacey is the absolute GOAT. Also, the books that I narrate each month are going to have to be like 40,000 words or under, I think. So maybe some classic novellas, some short stories, maybe a collection of poems that people would like me to read, just because I think it's such a massive time investment. I would basically be doing what I do for a living, but do it for free. And so it's going to have to be really short stories. But I think it's going to be something that's a lot of fun, and something that I would love to do for you all. If you like my audiobook narration, I can just give you a free book audiobook per month. Also, next year, I want to read more fantasy books. This is a genre that I really enjoy, but because fantasy books have a tendency to be longer reads, I don't really include as many of them on my monthly TBR as I'd like. And so I really want to change that because there's just so many amazing fantasy books that are being released, and it's starting to feel like it's a genre that I'm missing out on. And it is actually one of my favorite genres. This isn't going to be an exclusive fantasy channel or anything like that. I have too many interests to focus on just one genre, but I think it's just going to be something where this year in 2025, there's going to be more fantasy titles that are included. So if you're a fantasy fan, this is going to be your place. Anyway, those are some of the things that I'm excited for in 2025. I hope that we can really all get involved, and I hope that you'll feel a little bit more included as part of this cult, as part of this community, and not cult. Not a cult, not a cult, not a cult, not a cult. Let me know what you think of the changes in the comment section below. Let me know if you have any suggestions for me. I'm really open at this point to any suggestions. I'm not going to be able to implement all of them, unfortunately, because I'm just one person. But yeah, if I look at one of the suggestions and I think, oh yeah, I should be doing that, that would be great. By the way, if you're interested in seeing what the Discord server is all about and what's going to be featured on the server and the kind of community that we're building over there, then you can look at this video up here where I just kind of go into a bit more depth about what it's all about. Thanks so much for watching this video. Happy reading. Happy New Year.